I know somebody. His name is Michael Barton. Very kind of high-powered, professional, very spiritual man, very kind man, wonderful man. And what he explained to me was he talked about a practice that he has, which I love. Mm. So he talked about this concept of soft intention, which I really adore. And I want to, and so what soft intention is not getting rid of your desire, not suppressing your desire, not getting rid of your longing, not getting rid of your goal, holding it as an intention, but not clutching it, holding it with a kind of softness that you're not abandoning it. You are not abandoning your goals or your dreams, but there's just a little bit of space around it, like room to breathe. And what he found is that when he's in a place of soft intention, he is dramatically more likely to have the thing that he wants to have happen. So this concept of soft intention, I want to speak about in a very particular way. And it's the concept of cupped hands. This is such a beautiful concept, and it's a way to hold life that when we can do this, when we can hold our life or our experience in this way, we're in a graced kind of zone. We're in a zone where magic happens. We're in a zone where the ripples of our being are much more powerful. The way we change our reality in positive ways is much richer. So I'm going to talk about what this is, this concept of soft intention or this image of cupped hands. So I'd like you to take a moment and just take your hands and hold them. It's always hard for me to do this, but it's very hard. Flat out, like just completely flat out, like that. And imagine holding yourself, your being, your heart with these flat hands. Not curving in, just flat and stiff kind of hands. So you're supporting yourself, but there's not really a lot of sense of warmth to that. There's like not a lot of engagement. That's one way to hold our yearning and our desire almost at arm's length. And then if you take your hands and you squeeze them together, really squeezing. Well, there's something nice in that because you're like squeezing, you're really holding on, but there's not a lot of room to breathe. And often we hold our deep heart's desire with flat hands, like, well, I don't want to really risk putting my heart and soul into this because I might get hurt. Or with squeezing hands, where we're grabbing and kind of clinging, and we're doing it probably in somewhat patterned, rigid ways. So easy to do that too. But there's another way to hold our hearts and our life experience, which we can actually cultivate. And this is another technique that brings us right into an environment that incubates wisdom. So that is holding with cupped hands. Holding with cupped hands. So if you take your hand now and you kind of tenderly create a cup shape in your hands and just tenderly hold that, and imagine now holding your heart, your being, your experience with these cupped hands. How different this is. It's holding the experience with tenderness, but air, holding it with tenderness and space. And now, and when we do this, there's a kind of sacredness, there's a kind of wonderful thing that happens when we do this. I'd like to have people just kind of write in what your experience is when you picture kind of holding your experience with these cupped, kind hands. Holding an infant, Gratitude. Right. Literally, it does feel soft. Softness, gentleness. Yes, yes. We actually create tenderness, welcoming, safety, breath. This is what we create by doing this. And to me, open to possibility, welcoming, enjoying the experience, but not clinging to it. Yes, like a nest for your energy. I love that. This is really an image for each feeling. The cupped hands feel much softer. Yeah, yeah. Nurturance. So look at the magic that you achieve by holding your hands like this. And you can practice doing this with your experiences and safety. And in 1 minute, we're going to do that. We're going to practice this with, you're going to practice it with your search for love. We're going to do this together. But here is the thing that I know. The quality of my life can be measured by the amount of times that I hold my life and the people around me with cupped hands. That's kind of maybe the best determinant I know of the richness, the fullness, and the joy and the meaning in my life. And I spend time holding like this, and I spend time holding like flat. So I know those different experiences. But when I hold my life with cupped hands, sometimes a little more open, sometimes a little more squeezy, but with cupped hands, that's when my life is rich. Yeah, the comparison is very helpful to gauge the feelings. Are we squeezing? Are we holding with a kind of cold, disconnected flatness? Or are we holding with cupped hands? Hold with cupped hands, and that is your tiny, tiny micro meditation. And I promise you something. When you hold your experience with cupped hands, you gently become lit from within. You become more beautiful, more radiant, more tender. And when you become those things, somehow, really, 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 there is a call and an invitation to intimacy that enriches your life powerfully. I know this to be true. I believe this to be true. So now we're going to practice this with uh, your search for love. Okay? So we're just going to play with this. And I just want you to take a minute and think about you and your desire for a wonderful, loving relationship. And now, make your hands flat, not curving in at all, just kind of flat and impersonal. And now hold your desire for a relationship with these hands and feel what that feels like. Some people might say that feels like online dating. Cold. Yeah. Expansive. Okay. Yes. So that's beautiful. Expansive is a beautiful state. Yeah. Light and open. Wow. Okay. Okay. Beautiful. Naked. Offering. I thought cold like online dating, tense, indifferent. How are you going to hold on to anything? Okay, I just want to acknowledge the richness of people's different experience. So even flat, strained, challenging. So those of you that had flat hands and felt it like a blessing, like a sacrament, like you were holding something beautiful, that's just this, wonderful space you're in. Now, I want you to try holding your longing, desire for a loving partner with squeezing hands, like just squeeze, like a little too hard. Squeeze. And remember what that feeling is like when you hold your search for love like that. Afraid, limiting, desperate, yeah. Thirsty, desperate, yes. Okay, hidden, strong, grasping. Nauseated. Yeah, okay. So let's let that go now. And now I want you to just create this beautiful cupped hand shape. Like cup your hands just as much as you want. That's like the perfect point for you at this moment. And now imagine holding your longing for love. your desire for love with cupped hands. And let that be like a moment of meditation. Actually, like let yourself sink into this experience, holding it like it's a treasure. Yeah. Okay. Just take a breath in, exhale, and picture a you, reverence, worthy, connected, offering, relaxing. Yeah. So I'd like you to just picture a you who lives that way. I want you to picture a you who holds your life with cupped hands. Just imagine that you, connected. Hold your hands in that cupped place and just imagine a you that lives that way. Good, good.